Adam Sessler loses his mind again. R.L. Stein addresses revisionist rumors, and Seth Rogen wolkifies TMNT. That and more on tonight's episode. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Daily Nights. I'm your host, Treasonous Truths, and joining me tonight, I have my co-host, Daddy Sins. Say hello, Daddy Sins.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Daddy Sins in the house again, like always. And here to remind you, we got some shit to talk about tonight. It's a more stuff from last night, and don't be a fucking sinner.
So we were talking about anime again? Oh, awesome.
I mean, we can, but we're definitely gonna talk about some revisioned cartoons for the quote that you call them like the wokies or the people in Hollywood like to use for a modern audience.
The soy boys, the reboard warriors. There are a plethora of names they go by nowadays. But yeah, So recently it was unveiled that Seth Rogen is doing, well, the trailer, I should say, was unveiled that Seth Rogen is helming a new TMNT product called the Mutant Mayhem. That line, by the way, is courtesy of the one, the only, the great Razor Fist, the master of elocution. So I can't take credit for that one. But when I read that, I was laughing my ass off for a good five minutes solid. So, yeah, so Mutant Mayhem is the name of the title. And everyone was watching the trailer, and what really set Twitter and the internet ablaze these past few days, and it still seems like it's going on, but it seems like the fires are starting to die down from what I've noticed, is the whole thing around the race swap and the poor physique of April O'Neil, a traditionally Caucasian character, a ginger, as it were, the newest victim of what is going around being called the ginger side, one of many fictional characters that was a ginger, right? Like Iris West, Wally West, just to name two, or Jimmy Olsen as well, all DC Universe characters, but that were race swapped, and ultimately also not just their hair color but also their skin too. So, and of course, everyone took their sides, and the battle basically, like Eric July says, everyone overnight became a TMNT fan. So, especially the Redditors who were making arguments that, oh, April O'Neil was always black. Look at this white drawing, this drawing of a, nothing, no, indication of color with curly hair. Motherfucker, when was that drawn? We talked about this yesterday.
Yep.
The 80s. What was the hairstyle back in the 80s? Thank you, okay?
Perms. 80s was perms. And it just, for the people that don't know, and if you obviously have a mother from the 80s, go ask her. Because she would tell you that 80s perms was the hairstyle in the 80s, the big poofy hair. And all women wore it. White women, black women, Asian, whoever, right? That was the style that women wore. So if the drawing was dictated in 1984, right, even as a black and white drawing, yes, you're going to have the perm hair, the big poofy hair, because that was the style in the 80s. God, Mike, it's like they don't do their own fucking research.
No, they don't. What they do is they'll take maybe a out of context quote from one of the co-creators. Eastman was the one in particular who said, oh, he had always intended her to be like a multiracial or multi-ethnic character, right? But this is the same Eastman that acts as a rubber stamp just so he can cash in a check. And just so the audience knows, Eastman wasn't the one who had actually control, or rather ownership, of the whole franchise up until 2000, fuck me.
Yeah.
This is probably at least a decade ago, maybe a little bit less. It was actually Laird, and the co-creator of TMNT. And so Eastman saying what he's saying, it's like having a rubber stamp on. All right? Is that check clearing? All right, cool. There you go. You got your check. I'll approve of this. So And of course, the one, the only Eric July, aka creator of the Rippaverse and Isom, which we talked about on one of our previous episodes of Neon Knights FM. He went in, did a whole deep dive, even comparing TMNT characters that were actually black and then were to show as a comparison of, no, this shading that you're seeing isn't a representation of a black character. It's just a shading from the lighting. Because remember, the old TMNT comics prior to, I forgot what issue it was. I think maybe 4 or 7. It wasn't in color. It was black and white.
I think it wasn't until the 3rd issue where we started getting color. According the first issue being Eastman and Lard's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Laird.
Oh, sorry, Laird. Eastman and Laird's.
There you go.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think it was the 3rd issue that was in color, and as you can see, April O'Neil's skin is white, and she has big poofy hair, and perm is the hairstyle, and she has red hair because she was described to be a ginger.
She was a ginger. Yeah.
That's what they want. That's how they portrayed April O'Neil to be. Not portrayed. That's how they wanted to portray the character that they invented to be as. You say all the lighting you want for the audience out there, but this is the original source material. As Eric July says in his first publication, she was white. This is not up for dispute.
And this wasn't even the first time that they did a race swap either. And there are other characters that went under the whole thing, but they did rectify it. I forgot his name. He was a minor villain. He developed these little robots. I forgot what they were called. It's been fucking ages since I've read any TMNT stuff. And so they actually, in the original cartoon, they made him white, Caucasian, but then they switched him back over to being black as he was intended to be.
Yeah. So looking it over currently right now, Mike, there was the Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show.
Baxter Stockman. Sorry, that was the character's name. Sorry, that was bugging the shit out of me. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
The Rise of the Teenage is called Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show that started in 2018, ran to 2020, where we quote had the color or race swap of April O'Neil. That's where at least that's one instances of where it happened.
Yeah.
And I think from various videos of people displaying there, I think Eric Zai pretty much was the only one who actually, not saying him, but he was pretty much one of the first that provided like the receipts to everything, and everyone else kind of just added, obviously, either rehashed it, retold like we're doing, or they had their own opinions on it. Melanie Mack said to her the issue wasn't really about the race, the fact that she looked ugly, pretty much, and how pretty much April O'Neil was being portrayed as someone who was ugly, because April O'Neil is supposed to be a woman, a very good-looking woman, but this version of April O'Neil is one that, quote from her, and I also agree with what she says, who's either ugly and, she's fat. And this is from a fat person saying it. She's fucking fat. This is the truth. She is fat. That is but technically trying to portray that, saying that almost as obesity is okay when it's not. It's one of the leading causes of death in the United States right now. Obesity.
But
there isn't a vaccine for that, right? Though I had to throw that joke in.
I mean, there is, but there also comes with a chance of side effects, shall we say?
Yeah.
There is a gentleman that I follow. His handle is the Pencil Pimp, Opinion Nerded. He actually talked about how them putting this out as April O'Neil's character, the way she is, physicality, provides you an insight into their perception of how they think black females look at themselves. And I recommend taking a look at his page if you want to as well, Daddy Sins. He posted pictures of actual girls from, black girls from Pinterest, Instagram, right, even Facebook, of, women of that they could have actually taken if they, race swap aside, what they could have done with April O'Neil to mirror the physicality she had in her other iterations. But of course, they didn't do that. Because why? Because this isn't about race. This isn't about, the body type ultimately. It's about them checking off a box and them saying, okay, we're going to make April O'Neil this, just so we can just put it out there. And they don't actually give a shit about what it's supposed to be.
That is pretty much, Michael. Just like you said, that is the exact problem. The main problem that we keep seeing what Hollywood is doing is before anything comes out, or even when they it's not really steal work, but they try to do a modern revision of a work, which we're going to get into books of, R.L. Stein as an example. We'll get into that a little later.
Roald Dahl, right? James Bond, Ian Fleming, yeah.
We got a list for you guys tonight. So the fact that either race, that Hollywood make sure they need to have diversity, a race, they check all the boxes, need to have somebody who has a quote, some type of, not that there's nothing wrong with, physical disability, but in quote, you're trying to pretty much check all the boxes before you actually attempt to, you don't even make anything new. You just take something that already existed, and now you're gonna twist it and change it for a quote modern audience, and to make sure it's to make sure it's either more diverse or what it fits to a modern trend. So I'm sorry, I don't think obesity shouldn't be a modern trend. Just saying.
Well, you're not wrong.
The fact that I have to say that is crazy.
Well, here's the problem. This goes into more conspiratorial government stuff of people want, the establishment, the Uniparty, whatever you want to call them, the Illuminati, the New World Order, whatever.
Didn't the Illuminati get wiped out in 3 seconds? Doctor Strange.
World Economic. If only it were that simple.
Yeah.
The World Economic Forum, whatever you want to call them, right? Powers that be, right? Just to summarize it all.
The same people that took Andrew Tate. Free Top G. Sorry, Mike. Had to say that.
This is the same Andrew Tate who said that he would fuck a Megan Fox with a dick over a woman that is built like Hulk Hogan.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
Yep. Why are you gay?
So, why are you gay?
Dude, if you want to fuck a chick with a dick, by all means, but don't chastise heterosexual men for not wanting to.
Yeah, seriously. We're not there yet.
Especially he's running himself as Top G. So, fuck, I lost my train of thought now talking about that. Oh, so yeah, it's a simple divide and conquer tactic. I talked about it before. They get people riled up about the black and white issue, which I stand on the fact that April O'Neil, do not race swap her, do not change her body. Give us April O'Neil. If you want to change some minor stuff like, okay, the perm style, that went out of fashion, okay? So, of course, change your hair, but keep it the same color, right? Mm-hmm. Make it something that matches, the modern hairstyle of the woman of that generation, of that decade, to match society.
So
that's how you adapt it for a modern audience.
Half-shaved head? Half-shaved.
Oh, fuck that! No,
yeah, that's apparently the trend.
That's not the trend. That is how to avoid the franchise. He-Man. That's an example. Okay, talk about another beloved '80s franchise that was butchered by a fucking pot-addicted. I can't say pot-addicted, but pot-addicted Gen-Xer. Okay, and just to go back also to what I was saying about the divide and conquer. Look at people arguing about black and white, right? That's the divide and conquer, and then they'll actually make her obese so that's another further divide and conquer tactic, right? But with that one, they're also promoting that it's okay to be overweight. Don't do anything about it. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous, okay? You don't want to go to the gym? By all means, your choice, right? I don't promote that. I think you should go to the gym if you can. If you're not, find a way to work out, change your diet, be healthy, okay? Because eating bonbons all day and sitting on the couch, that's not going to be working for you or anyone else. Mm-hmm. And don't be pissed at people not finding you attractive because you won't take a modicum of effort to improve your own physicality.
Yeah, physical attraction does exist. It's not just saying, oh, they should like me for my personality. No. Yeah, that only goes so far. We as humans are attracted to physicality. Someone who looks physically Not telling you have to look like you have to have 85 abs, like, chiseled abs. No, but you look, you're taking care of yourself. You look healthy for the purpose of reproduction, a man, a woman. I know they're gonna be like, "Oh, you can't say that. Yeah, go fuck yourself." That's what I'll
The
say to them.
personality comes after the initial attraction. You don't go up to someone and be like, "Man, I really like your sense of humor." No, you know, you see them, man or woman, right? There's nothing in between, folks. Hate to break it to you. Actually, I'd love to break it to you, especially if you're a reboard warrior. At me. So there's nothing in between.
Uh,
So a man or
great.
woman, regardless of who initiates it, right? In this scenario that I'm going to be putting in, they don't start off with, like I said, your sense of humor is fantastic, or, oh, I think you have a really nice personality. No, they look at you, their physical features that you're just drawn to as an individual. Each person's going to have their different thing that they're drawn to, but overall, there are some similarities as well.
We as human
So
natures, we judge instantly when we see somebody, whether we mean to or not. It just happens automatically.
it's a survival tactic.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a survival tactic, like, hands in your pockets and stuff like that. What
hmm
what is it? Depending on where you are, is that going to be them trying to pull a knife on me, gun, whatever?
Yeah,
You know,
that's what it goes down to. It's physical attraction. And we're not saying that, can not saying be attracted to, like, say, so called, like, I like my women thick. You
chubby
know,
chasers are out there. They
yeah,
exist.
they're out
So
there.
yeah,
I like them thick. I'm talking like slim and big thighs. Not
how
not
many
not fucking gigantic.
how many C's?
Like two
Because
to
I
three. It depends how tall
okay.
you are. You
See,
did.
you told me. I remember you mentioning 3 C's in the past. I didn't know if it was a change. So
It has changed.
okay,
So
okay,
it's between 2 and 3. Obviously, it depends how tall she is. If she's a lot
okay,
shorter, then it gets too big. But I've
gotcha.
seen some women that are taller than me. I'm like, they like a good healthy thick. I'm like, God damn. Hello.
Damien's not here tonight, so please do not. This isn't the Simpcast. So
No, no, no. The Belle Delphine cast is next week.
the Belle Delphine, good. I'll make sure to miss it. Oh no, I have to be the producer
Yeah,
on
I
it,
was gonna
folks.
say you ain't going anywhere, Mike. I'm just kidding.
It's like, no, Daddy, no.
No, Dad,
So
you were
to go
cussing
back
at the ladies.
to, to go back to what I was saying before about the whole ginger side thing, just to mention, like I said, one character I didn't even realize who started as a ginger, right, is Lana Lang. She, Clark's, high school sweetheart, or how it's portrayed, like in Smallville and so forth, that we know her as from Smallville, right? She was originally a ginge, got casted as Kristen Crook. Iris West, that's the most notorious one. She went from ginger to, I guess, African American in that case. Wally West is another one. Let's see. April O'Neil, that's a classic one. Barbara Gordon, Batgirl. These are
Oh,
all Ariel from Little Mermaid. These are all Starfire, even though she was an alien. Isaac from Castlevania. You know, these are all Josie and the Pussycats. Josie from Josie and the Pussycats.
yep.
These are all characters that originally started as gingers. Jimmy Olsen, right? Daphne. These are all characters that started off as gingers, and they were all race swapped. So it seems weird that Hollywood seems to have this big boner for swapping out the gingers. I don't know what the whole reason is behind that. I think South Park might be responsible. The whole
hmm
gingers don't have souls, but
No, no, no. They it's a quota, Mike. It's got to be everything diversity. That's all they care about. They don't even care about telling a good story because they'll just, as long as it's got cool animation, tons of action, right? They'll attract most people because most people that are like a okay with this. Sorry, but you're an idiot. That's just that simple.
well, the thing is, they're not creating anything new. They're not being bold. They're not being brave in doing so. And there's no excuse for them not to. These are multi-million, multi-billion dollar, well, we're multi-billion now. When it comes to Marvel and DC, they're more like multi-million dollar comic book companies that have or had, I'm not sure right now, but had the capital to actually try new things. But no, we're seeing that in the indie market. Like I was telling you last night, I have 30 plus um, Indiegogo comics, I'm waiting to receive. and I'm waiting. Once I get them, I'll be happy to cover them on this podcast. And at least they're doing something new. They're doing something brave, and something potentially untested, or something that goes back to the traditional comics that made the comic characters that we know that have been tainted and parasitized by this wokeness, or rather, I should say, cultural Marxism. That's what it boils down to. Nope, did I kill you?
No, I'm still here.
Oh yeah, that was my rant. That was it.
Oh no, it definitely is pretty much cultural Marxism. Obviously, I know some people say, "Oh, the term woke was hijacked." I get it. That's fine. I know that, but I'm still gonna call it woke. It is woke. It is still wokeism. It is
So was liberal.
Marxist.
Liberal was too.
Liberal's another hijacked term.
And I brought this up last night, if I'm not mistaken. I wasn't sure if it was on air or off air, but you're noticing now that these cultural Marxists are attacking mangas and anime now, or these anime studios and these manga publication companies. Why? Because manga is incredibly popular. Back in 2021,
popular and still very successful.
Yes, $1.5 billion out of the $2 billion comic book industry came from manga in 2021. So they realize this. They're not stupid, right? Don't let their incompetency be masqueraded as, a lacking of intelligence. No, they know what they're doing in that regard, and they're going to try to infect it. This is why, like I mentioned previously, a lot of these anime studios, a lot of these manga publication companies are looking to have their own in-house translation or localization teams, so that they won't be affected by these cultural Marxists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember back to the day with the 4Kids issue.
Oh, dude, the four kids with Yu-Gi-Oh as an example was a major issue back then, and that's pretty much the issue. Well, one of the main reasons why I prefer to watch. Nothing against English voice actors. I think a lot of them are very good voice actors. There's nothing wrong with that. I just prefer to watch my anime, Japanese language, but Japanese subbed, where I can see the subtitles, because there's more emotion, there's more like emphasis and oomph into when they're doing the voice acting. Right?
Well,
it's almost. Did you hear the not here, but did you see the Japanese version of see a video of Japanese version of God of War?
God of War is not
Ragnarok.
Japanese.
No. The voice.
Okay.
There was a scene between Thor and not Odin, Kratos and Thor, but obviously it was voiced in Japanese, I guess, obviously for the Japanese market. And I heard it. It was just an interaction between them talking, and it just sounded very cool. That's all I just want to say about that.
Oh, okay. No, because God of War is an American-made game.
Oh yeah, no, it is
by a Japanese company, technically, because that's Sony, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's an American-made game. I mean, if the localization for the Japanese is great, I'll check it out. There's nothing wrong with that.
I saw it the other day just randomly, and I saw it and I was like, oh, like it felt more like there was more like emotion into it, right? There was more. It just felt that's one of the reasons why. And at the same time, when they do transfer language from the Japanese to the American for quote dub, right? They obviously they do have to change certain things. They do change some things, but when you watch anime is meant to be over exaggerated, more emotionally driven to do something, right? So then the Japanese do it very well. That's why I prefer to watch it.
See, that's an anime trope that turns me away from anime. The whole like exaggeration where like the guy's head becomes like 10 times the size it's supposed to be, and like tears are coming out of his eyes, and he's like, "No!" Screaming and all that. That actually turns.
Or he gets he gets a random power up.
Yeah, exactly. like the girl's like, "I know what'll power him up," and she shows him his tits. I'm like, "Hey, all 4 anime boobies, no problem." But like,
I don't know if that was actually a thing. I think that was just a meme thing.
I'm just randomly saying shit. Randomly saying shit. I'm not referencing anything. I'm just randomly saying, like, it could be something as like the sensu bean, essentially. Like they get that sensu bean effect. It doesn't necessarily have to be the sensu bean, but I just remember it as the sensu bean, where it could be anything from the the girl that the pervy protagonist has a crush on, or it could be maybe he likes chocolate. Chocolate boosts him up like the sensu bean. It's just that thing. So it's a trope it's prevalent in a lot of animes. That's one thing I don't like, and I actually get more drawn to animes and mangas that don't use it and are more, I would say, grounded, if that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that pretty much don't follow the more the quote. I would say more
Shonen.
shonen, pretty much. Mainly shonen. Other obviously anime studios do it, but it's mainly a shonen anime thing.
Yeah, like you don't see that type of stuff in Berserk, for
I
instance.
was I was about to say Berserk. Yep,
Yeah,
you definitely don't see that.
you don't see that in Berserk, and that's one of the draws I had to Berserk. Also, the fact that I invested so much time in Berserk at this point that if I felt like I quit and I stopped like reading Berserk, it's not a matter of FOMO. It's a matter of like, man, what did I do with my life?
There's so much Berserk. As
Yeah,
a
no. The next, go ahead.
no, say no. There's not. It's not a bad thing. Because
No,
Berserk
it's
is
not
one
at
of
all.
those. It's like that meme. It's kind of like the great great grandfather of anime, like a video anime. They put like Berserk is like there's like the top dog leader, and then like they put like the original. I guess you call them. Seems like there's always like this quote top three. So I think the original top three, and especially in the 2000s and still 2010s, was like One Piece, Bleach,
Naruto and
Naruto.
Bleach. Yeah.
They were like always like the top three, and then I think now they said after like 2010, 2015 passing was like Demon Slayer. I think it was Demon Slayer, Jinjutsu Kaisen, Black
Mm-hmm.
Clover, or something might be. It,
That's
it changes sometimes. It used to
JoJo's
be
Bizarre Adventure.
JoJo. Yeah, no, that's its own category.
It is. It is. I have to say I do. I've only watched I think the first 4 episodes. Question mark. I have to double check. But I actually really appreciate the rock and roll references like left and right. Like there's a character in that show that's he's like a bit of like I think he's a detective character if I'm not mistaken. His name is REO Speedwagon, like the band.
Yep.
And then like the closing credit music is literally like the bass part for Roundabout by Yes. I was like, what the fuck? Why haven't I watched this before?
I think because it was just referenced as being so meme, kind of just like this is kind of more of a joke thing, not realizing this. Now it's gonna be one of your favorite animes of all time.
Watch, yeah. Imagine all of a sudden I start speaking like Jotaro.
Oh God, you have to narrate that
Yuddy.
one night for EC.
Yeah, yuddy yuddy, daddy sins.
Oh,
It's like, oh no, it's happening.
this is EC after dark. This is way more after dark.
Nani? No. Oh
Oh,
man. Oh, see, we went right back to anime too.
I know, right? We said last night. Oh yeah, we talked so much about Boruto and Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, we got it out of our system. No,
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 there's
not
nothing
at
wrong
all.
talking about it. That's just our
No, there
thing.
isn't.
We get into tangents and it happens.
Yeah, fuck it. Makes it for interesting reading. Reading. I said, holy shit. Listening. I hope. But going back to the whole TMNT thing, I don't know if I'm gonna even bother watching it.
Oh,
To be
I'm not.
honest.
I
Yeah.
I haven't. Besides the obviously the original '90s movies, which I saw,
Mm-hmm.
which are still, you know, they're just great. They're just as in like I think they're just more or less fun entertainment, right? And then I still grew up watching the TV show, and then but everybody forgot, and I think Rashawn would probably also appreciate this, just like you. We
What?
forget that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the live action version, that's from the
Oh yeah.
'90s cartoon, was in Power Rangers in space.
Really? I see. It's been so long, dude. That's going back. So what exactly? What was the crossover?
Yeah, they did a crossover where the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it was the live action Ninja Turtles from the movie, right? And they did a crossover with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
And that was during the Power Rangers in Space arc.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's pretty dope. I've got to. You know what? I actually have the entire collection for Mighty Morphin. I may have to one of these days when I get some free time go back and see what episode that is and just watch it.
Yeah, I think they spawned about 2 episodes.
Okay.
It was so I'm gonna get you for the episode. Funny enough, the episode is called Shell Shocked. It is the fourth. So it was a crossover with Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it right now. Power Rangers, yeah, Power Rangers in Space episode 4, it's season 6, I guess. And the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, meet up with the Power Rangers. That's pretty cool.
hmm And they had a bunch of crossovers in the Power Rangers comics from Boom Studios that they started spawning over. There's a bunch of toys now, action
Mm-hmm.
figures that like Ninja Turtles in like Power Ranger forms and stuff like that. So all that was like kind of cool. Like I seen that stuff. Obviously, I don't really follow Ninja Turtles like that anymore. I saw the one with Megan Fox because it was live action, and I was like, all right, you know, this was more of just an action movie. I didn't take it seriously.
Oh, the one with Megan Fox was a fucking disaster. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
I was trying to be like very. It was just bad, but that's what I was like. Yeah, this is just more or less
Well, that's the
just
thing.
entertainment.
A lot of people who are fighting for the you guys weren't complaining about the fact that Megan Fox looks nothing like April O'Neil. Yeah, they were. They were complaining a lot about the fact that she looks like April O'Neil and that the turtles looked like shit. You just have an attention span that matches that of a
hmm
goldfish with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I would say the only thing that barely credits it. Obviously, you can't. Well, I'm not saying you can't compare, right? Because one's a live action, one's a TV show. So I guess if you wanted to compare live action, it would have to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original '90s live action movies, the first
And
three, and then the
that was
Megan
better in my
Fox one.
opinion.
Yeah, no, that definitely was the woman who portrayed April O'Neil. Get it for you right now.
From the first movie?
Yes, very first live action. It's
The actress,
Judith.
if I'm not mistaken, Judith Hogue, and then she was replaced by Paige Turco.
Yep, they actually more or less resemble of what April O'Neil was actually supposed to look.
Except she
More,
has, I think she has blonde hair in the '90s movie, if I'm not mistaken,
I
right?
think it was more. I think it was
Or was it
quote
dirt?
like dirty blonde.
Okay. Yeah, see that my complaint would be like someone who's doing respect the source material. I'm a almost like a purist at almost a purist, not quite there yet. I probably in a few more years I'll be there. I would want her to be a redhead, or
Yeah,
like not just but a ginge. So okay, you cast a woman who can pass off as April O'Neil look wise. All right, let's ginge her up. Give her that copper colored hair. You're Hollywood. I'm pretty sure you can make it with the makeup. Let's be honest, right?
hmm I mean,
So
and that was my that's my whole. Obviously, we made complain about it. People saying, "Oh, people never complain about Megan Fox." No, because I am not saying that she isn't a good actress, right? I am not saying that she isn't or isn't,
I
right? But
will.
obviously, well, yeah, because I personally just don't. I really just don't care.
I could tell you she
She
wasn't
was meant
casted
to
in
be more.
Transformers because of her.
She was meant to just. I'm not saying nothing bad, but she's meant to be just more of a pretty face. I'm not saying that she doesn't look good. She does look good. Like, don't get me wrong,
Well,
right?
she did have surgery, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
recently.
I'm talking about the Megan Fox, not the one that right now, but well, not, that sounds wrong. The same Megan Fox, but when she did the Transformers movie, and then she did the two Transformers movie, and then the new live actions of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She is more portrayed to be a woman who was quote very uh good looking, right? And that's how originally April O'Neil was supposed to look like. And now we got this adaptation from a new cartoon movie, like Melanie Mac says, and I also agree with her. She does not look good. Does
No.
not. And there's other beautiful black women out there who could pass off and do a better, like, I'm not saying better job, but you could have. Oh, there was a picture actually. I don't know if you saw. Someone did an art almost in their own version of what they took from the April O'Neil's versions and changed how, and just did a new artist revision of it, and actually looked better than what we got from Seth Rogen's movie of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Of course, because that person's not trying to do a checkbox. That person doesn't care about tokenization. That person isn't trying to tokenize April O'Neil. Remember, this all goes back to cultural Marxism. Remember, Marxism is an evil ideology, and like Tolkien says, evil cannot create anything. It can simply just pervert or destroy, or in some cases, both. Look at the Star Wars franchise.
Yeah. Oh my God, Luke Skywalker, he's part of the Alphabet Mafia now.
Did you hear what Dave Filoni said?
No, but I'm
And
already cringing right now.
Luke Skywalker is not a Jedi. That's what he said originally. Then I think he walked his statement back when everyone was
Oh,
like, by the way, in
yes,
the
I did
movie,
see that.
he even said, I am a Jedi like my father before me.
Oh, somebody posted a picture saying that Dave only says he's not a Jedi. He says, where do you get that? Oh, it was the Ben Shapiro meme, an old one,
Oh,
right?
yeah, it's in the title.
It's in the title where he was the Ben Shapiro origin meme of that was when he was arguing with that girl about there was only at that time this quote what he said and what the woman said. That quote, there's only two genders, and then he's like, oh, how is it two genders? And he's like, no, how can you say you only allow boys in Boy Scouts? And he said in the term Boy Scouts.
Yeah, just
All
like
right.
Girl Scouts is just Girl
And
Scouts.
then for this, the meme was like in the title, Return of the Jedi. I was like,
Exactly.
dude, you trying to start some like I swear, I don't know if it's like a lot of Hollywood or big names. They try to just start shit for clout.
Oh,
Seriously.
that's all it is. That's all it is for clout. They don't give a shit. If it's some way for them to earn brownie points with the powers that be that ultimately help them garner a check or will secure their future, the children, a future for their children, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to say there are 52 genders. They're going to say, hey, you know what? We should make this traditionally Asian character into a whitewash, like what happened with fucking Doctor Strange. Remember we talked about that when the Lorax was on. They had no problem, you know, whitewashing a Tibetan monk. Why? China was funding that project.
Yep.
Disney fucking got on their knees and sucked that yellow schlong.
Yep. And they want to say that, oh, only white people are racist. Oh, didn't you have to hide the picture of Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther for the advertisement for
Or
Black Panther in China?
Star Wars in China too.
Yeah, so
Finn
was Finn. They had to hide
Finn
Finn's face.
Finn got relegated to a thumbnail,
Yeah,
literally.
just for advertising in China because they don't want to see a quote. I think was it not they quote, but they obviously don't want to portray a black person in front for China's advertising in the movies. But yet, did we hear anyone complain about that? I mean,
No,
maybe
because
probably a few people did, but
America's bad. Remember that's the whole selling
yeah.
point. Yeah, this first world issues.
So
It's so
somebody,
fucking stupid.
so it's Seth Rogen is trending on Twitter. Somebody copy and pasted a quote that not quote from what he said on Twitter back in 2018. So this person said Seth Rogen's doing TMT. Oh man, he's gonna be great. Sarcasm, right? Uh, this woman said, I know this isn't a popular position, but I'm worried about marijuana addiction. Our teenagers. Part of the catalyst for my son's spiral was marijuana abuse. When they found him in his apartment was full of the marijuana, he had developed an addiction. Thread on the risk 1 to 32. And then Seth Rogen he tweeted on Twitter back in 2018, October 2nd, 2018. Are you Jewish? Question mark. No? Question mark. Then lick my pasty Jewish ass nigga. Huh? 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 Niggas smoke weed every day. Huh? 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 Blaze it up. Smoke weed every day. They see me rolling. They hating. Huh? 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 Down for what? Yo, fuck you, bro.
That was him.
Yes, this was yes. This is what he posted on Twitter, by the way. This is all quote. If you don't think that I'm lying, you can go to I'm going to right now. I'm going to retweet this. I just
At Neo
retweet
Nights
this.
FM on Twitter. Wow,
Yep. Just
that is
retweeted that.
that's mind-numbingly painful, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's mind-numbingly painful.
If you
This is the
think we're
guy.
lying, go to our Twitter. I just retweeted now, and you can see it, Mike. That's quote from what he said. Someone commenting between him and this Samantha Christine.
Well, it's just another. The whole Seth Rogen thing is just another example of Hollywood just having a hate boner for respecting the source material, and it comes from the fact that I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Cultural Marxists, all right? They don't give a shit about the source material. They don't give a shit about the hardcore fans. Hardcore fans find ways of, if you want TMNT stuff to consume, find a way of getting like the old classic DVDs of the old 80s cartoon or the 90s movies, or getting a hand on the multitude of probably reprints that there have been for the original Eastman and Laird run. Also, try to see if one of my personal favorites, surprisingly enough, was the 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. I thought that was a pretty good series as well.
Or that it's crazy. Not crazy, but what you can do, what people should do too, Mike, is that right. Go visit
Not watch it, yeah.
One that besides not watch it. If you like you said, if you like the older Teenagers and Ninja Turtle, um, shows and movies, buy DVDs, but find local hobby shops or video game stores or stores that sell like just used DVDs, right? Or DVDs in general. Visit those, support that small business, buy classic movies, DVDs, TV shows from those stores, right? Or if you don't have them in your area, this is what Walmart always does. Anytime there's like a popular movie, they'll re-release in like their $5-10 bargain bin DVDs. They're great because they're $5-10, right?
Yeah.
They'll do a promotion. You'll see all the Teenage Ninja Turtles at Walmart. What they did the same thing. Valentine's Day, they had a whole bunch of Valentine's Day movies, right? Check those $5-7 bins. When the Teenage Ninja Turtles, you're gonna see a lot of market for that in Walmart via promotion of the movies. So there's gonna be kids clothes, toys and stuff like that. So I'm not saying to go get those, but I'm saying is that if you find the older Teenage Ninja Turtle movies and TV shows, get those. If you don't have a local shop that sells used DVDs, that's what I'm getting at.
Is Best Buy still a thing?
No, Best Buy is, but I think they're more. They do more new. While since Walmart is known, and so it's kind of Target to known to like have those quote that whole like $5-7-10 movie bin you always see. So like you'll find the whole thing. That's where I got my what is it? American Pie, eight movie collection for $20 at Walmart.
8 movie collect. Oh, so you even got the spin-off ones.
It came with all the really. It came with all the decent spin-offs. Yeah, it came with
Mile and all that stuff.
Yeah, it has all that. Where I have it. Yep, the American Pie. No, sorry, American Pie 9 movie collection.
9 movie. Oh shit.
Yep,
Okay.
I got that for $20. What I recently get last year. For $5, I bought the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the new Justice League. I bought that from the $5 bin just to have, and just a couple of random movies. Resident Evil on Blu-ray 6 movie collection. Got that for like $10 at Walmart. I'm not saying to go. I just go there because that's what I have in my town. But if you have something else in your town that's a hobby shop that sells like classic movies, CDs, right? Visit those shops, and you'll see a lot of and consume physical media.
One thing I will say too, physical media is monumentally better, right? Because it's harder to edit and to revise, do your revisionist bullshit as they're trying to do with certain popular books. But get those physical copies as soon as possible because they're not stupid, like I said. They may be incompetent at what they do in executing it, possibly, but they're not stupid because they're going to find a way to, okay, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is popular. Okay, how can we digitize the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, make April O'Neil look more ethnically different, right? How do we do that, right? They'll go in there and they'll remaster it and re-release it for a special insert year, edition, whatever it may be, right? So buy the original stuff that you want, and then maybe make copies, maybe don't. It's up to you, and then share it with your friends, your family that also like that stuff too. Because next thing you know, it's going to be like what happened with Roald Dahl or Ian Fleming, where they they actually retroactively changed some of the wording in Ian Fleming's books. Or recently, the most recent issue is R.L. Stine had to come out and make a public statement saying that this story about his works being edited and changed were false, and that he has no plans on actually changing them, and that if there were any edits proposed, that he has never been one to approve.
Yeah, there's a whole big thing. He's actually now accusing. Oh, what the hell's going on?
Everything okay?
Yeah, no, just a minute. Yeah, R.L. Stine accused the publisher of censoring Goosebumps books without his permission.
Oh, you want to get more into that? Because I have a different article up.
This is just from many articles that I've not many, a few articles I've just found looking up right now. It's just pretty much saying that he debunked another one from R.L. Stine debunks claims he altered Goosebumps books. What do you know the publishers that tried to do that? That's what I don't.
Scholastic. The Scholastic were the ones who published it. Who have published Goosebumps for
no. The ones who tried to change his material.
Scholastic.
Still Scholastic.
It's still Scholastic. Yes, for over 3 decades, Scholastic books. Yes.
No, I know. You remember those Scholastic book fairs at school, and you used to
all the time. That's where I used to get all my Goosebumps books in general.
Yeah, I used to get them there. I used to get when I told you the other day, I used to draw a lot when I was a kid. I got all my drawing books from there.
Okay, nice.
So,
yeah, my mom used to give me like $25 or $20, right? And I would get a few Goosebumps books. And then later on, we wound up, when I got a little older, I stopped reading Goosebumps and started going to the more mature story, which was like Fear Street. You ever read Fear Street?
I haven't. I've only... no, sorry. I did read Fear Street, and I just recently found out that they even did movies about it. I didn't even know.
Yes, there is a Netflix... It's actually not bad. There is a Netflix Fear Street, like a 3-part Netflix Fear Street series that I recommend you check out. It's not bad.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I did see that. Well, I didn't see it, but I saw that it was on Netflix, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together. It was actually Goosebumps and R.L. Stine.
Yeah, so R.L. Stine produced Fear Street, which was I think supposed to be a more mature elevation. So where Goosebumps was meant for, children, this was more designed for teens going into YA. And then he eventually branched into YA, I think, recently with certain novels. Like, I think he has one book called Red Rain. It was, I got Janine a signed copy of it. Basically has to do with vampires. So.
Okay.
But yeah, Scholastic, apparently the whole issue is, for the 30th anniversary of Goosebumps, Scholastic, for the ebook re-releases, they actually edited some of the words, but R.L. Stine is saying that he had no knowledge of that happening. And he's not the only one being targeted by this. Tolkien's probably one that's going to be coming up very soon. Roald Dahl was the most recent one, but due to all the backlash facing particular books like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Matilda, they walked back on it. And then one is particularly Ian Fleming's James Bond. So my stance on all this is, if the writer doesn't approve of it, do not change the written word. You keep the story as is, especially if the writer's dead, like Ian Fleming, Roald Dahl, right? They're dead as a doornail. Okay? Now, if the writer wants to go...
Oh, Tolkien would have loved the new current Rings of Power. Get the fuck out of here. If I could collect the 7 Dragon Balls, I'd bring him back to life first, Mike, just so he could see the Rings of Power.
I wonder if the estate would go back to him then, if that's the case. Like, I wish Tolkien and his wife were alive, right? Boom, they come back. Does that mean the rights go all the estate goes back to him, and that means Amazon can't do
I
shit? Because I would be incredibly happy with
I
that.
I would hope so, but if not, he if they think that, oh, we're trying to be inclusive, when are they inclusive? Well, you really don't know who Tolkien is then.
Tolkien's goal was never about. Oh my god, these people.
Everything's
Like I
got to
said,
be inclusive and all that shit. Come on.
you don't even. It's so retarded, right? Entertainment, fantasy. It's escapism, right? You can make inclusivity, make new fucking characters, especially if these people. I sound like a fucking broken record at this point. Make new characters, all right? If you're a multi-billion-dollar company, you have no excuse, especially when you have a plethora of independent creators out there doing what you should be doing on budgets significantly less than what you pay or may not pay, depending on who the publisher is, IDW, looking at you, for doing their works, or just original works.
So
It's
I think
it's
we
mind numbing.
literally said the same thing. Hollywood has all the money, the manpower, the resources, the people, etc., to make really great movies, or you want to make live action adaptations of insert IP, but they're fucking it up to be inclusive, for diversity, for check boxes. We got to make sure
It's
everybody's involved. We got to make sure everyone feels like they're part of that. No, it's supposed to be fantasy. I play these games because I envision, like, oh yeah, if I was that, or if I looked like that, that'd be cool if I was like that. Like when I play these fantasy games, I don't try. I put like my personality, my mindset into it. My physical self. No, I would rather be that warrior character, right? For an example. So I
right,
envision
like
when I play to be somebody else. It's fantasy. It's supposed to be
escapism.
escape. You're supposed to escape from
Yes.
reality to play it. Moderation time, obviously. you know, in
Yeah. Otherwise,
moderation playing it.
it becomes a problem. But yes,
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. We all love fantasy, but in moderation,
yes.
right? But that's how it's supposed to be. Not what they're doing now. So there's actually no excuse why ever a literally quote bad, like, not even just bad, a fucking horrendous garbage ass movie or TV show should come out, because they have all the resources, the manpower, and the money to do it.
Well,
And that's what I tell
so
people: take your money that you would have that you've gone to go see. Uh, Ant Man, I heard, was really bad. I'm not saying that it was
Quantumania.
Paul Rudd's fault. Probably wasn't, but you know, your money you would have spent, $50 on chocolate or something, and $20 for tickets at the movie theater. You probably could have bought like two indie comics with that. Just saying.
And not every movie is going to be a hit, right? It's true. Some movies are just going to be flat out bad with or without the injection of cultural Marxism. Cultural Marxism usually is usually the nail in the coffin, though, if they introduce that stuff, and that's what it boils down to. It's going into this whole ESG thing that they're talking about. It started with the World Economic Forum, and it's something that's starting to rise up when it comes to being made aware of by the people. What the hell is ESG? Right? It's basically a social credit score. That's what it is. And that's why these things like 15-minute cities, which I talked about previously, are popping up as well.
There are
And
people
that's what
praising
it's
that.
all about. They don't care about diversity. Diversity is the word that they use to manipulate the perception of others. Because 9 times out of 10, people are not going to mind. Okay, yeah, let's get a black character out there. Let's get an Asian character. Let's get another, whatever the ethnicity is, point blank, right? People are going to be okay with it as long as it's not a swap, right? And it's not just, okay, now we're, like I said, a swap, and we're now going to insert this character that was always traditionally something, right, into something else now, just because we don't want to take the chance of it flopping. Well, those characters whose legacies you're standing on, they had the chance to flop, but they
Yeah.
didn't. They succeeded. Take the same chance.
You have to take risks. That's part of life. They took a
Yeah.
risk just to release the original source material of what that is.
Yeah, well, Batman's plagiarized, but that's an entire different story.
Oh my God, Mike! You think people actually know that? They probably, you should, if you don't think that it is, you should go read, not read. You should go listen to Razor Fist. He makes a whole video about the
We're sounding like Razor Fist stands. I'm just realizing that.
I think there was I was re I watched a Brett Group video last night. And she had like a that thing of Razor Fist because
Oh,
she was
really?
it was when he was doing like the fuck you, I was always right or something. How
Oh,
it was.
fuck you. I was right. Fuck you. I was right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
she
love
had
that.
that in the video. She was when she was talking
I
about
mean,
something.
yeah.
But I saw it last night. I thought it was pretty funny. She had um a video of him in, but it was just like quick couple seconds.
Yeah. I don't. Is she with the Daily Wire?
No, no, yeah, she still is. She's
Okay.
the youngest person is, but I enjoyed watching her videos because she obviously she tackles multiple issues on a daily basis, right? She broods humor into it, and uh, I don't want to say stuck up, but I also
Who? Her?
think no, she's not stuck up. I was referring to the other people in the Daily Wire.
Oh, yeah.
That's not
Well,
that's what I was referring to. It's just like
you have to take people at the Daily Wire with a grain of salt. Each of them are going to be their own different.
yeah, each of them
Yeah.
have their own each of their own personalities. I personally like to enjoy watching Berkeley. I think she's really funny. She points out a lot of true facts about what's going on. She hits multiple different subjects, topics of what's going on in the culture and entertainment sphere going on. Right, pretty much it's pretty much the cultural fight as we're as what's happening right now. Her thing is called the comment section.
I'll have to check it out. I've heard of her, but I haven't really watched anything. I think I might have seen like a short or two by her, but that's about it.
She's only been on YouTube with the Daily Wire for a year.
Okay, so that's probably why I've only seen like
Yeah,
maybe a short or two from her. I'm pretty sure as the algorithm catches up and she makes more videos and shorts
yeah.
or converts certain videos
Oh no,
into shorts.
she's very popular. She just hit 2 million subs on YouTube.
Hey, oh, that's awesome. Congratulations for her.
Yeah, I think her funny video I watched last night was about the trans the trans chocolate, the Hershey, because
Oh, dude.
she was very pissed about that as a woman, because supposedly Hershey's like, yeah, we're celebrating International Women's Month, but a man who's portraying a woman, and she was kind of saying like that's a spit in the face to all biological women out there.
Well, you see, they're not calling. They're trying. If you noticed, this is how important language is, and I'll give Michael Knowles that. Right. Look at the shift of them using less of the word trans women, right, or trans this or trans that, particularly women, and it's women plus. They're trying to test. It's like a market test. They're using women plus in conjunction with trans women so that they can eventually segue away from using trans women and just do women plus so they can further manipulate it and slowly it's like turning the what do you call it, the furnace on, what do you call it, the burner on with a pot of frogs, right? So they move to women plus, and after women plus, they'll start to slowly get rid of the plus, and it'll just be women. And then the people who aren't paying attention to what's going on, right? Will be like, oh, a woman can have a dick, and a woman doesn't have a dick. You know, that's them, and that's what they're trying to do.
Dude, is that so? It's tell. I think I made a joke. I When I made a joke, I posted it on Twitter as a joke too, meant to be truth because, as I said before, comedy the origin of comedy are things that are based on truth, or it wouldn't be funny. Like if you made fat jokes to me, that'd be funny because I'm fat. That's just
They
the truth.
resonate, yeah,
Yeah,
because it resonates.
there is some truth related to what's funny about it. That's why they're called jokes. Don't get fucking offended. It's a joke. Relax. Your life is not over. Holy shit.
Are you sure about that?
There was who I think it was oh, Matt Walsh. He posted a video. It was what was? Did you hear about the recent thing with Matt Walsh? Matt Walsh.
No.
Probably saying it.
Oh, Wait, is it the was it the whole trans thing that so much so that I think
The whole trans thing, and he had to make he did another video in response to what people were saying against them.
well,
And
no, here's the, okay, so
oh
and I
no,
remember
I remember now. He made a
and then some
video
woman
about it.
some I'm just gonna just one second, and some
Yeah,
woman apparently is leaving Daily Wire because of it, but that's
I
about it.
didn't hear
That's
about that. I'll have to look
go
that
ahead.
up. I didn't hear about that. But he was pretty much making making fun of what's his name? I'm calling him the guy Dylan Manvolny. Horrendous mockery of women continues. He
The
made a
dude
video.
who has the dude who has a long history of being an attention hog, right? And he finally found something that fucking stuck. Okay, if you look at that guy's history, right? He has gone through one fad after the other. One moment he was straight, one moment he came out as gay. Then he went back to being straight, then he became quote, trans. Okay? This dude is an attention seeker. Go on.
Yeah, that was he made the video talking about him saying no matter how much you call yourself quote trans and put a whole bunch of makeup, you'll never be a woman, right? And he said so the words that he used in his video, he pretty much said a lot of things that quote even Republicans and conservatives are like, dude, you were kind of too harsh about it. Even people on the quote on the right were saying, dude, you're not wrong, but you were saying they were saying that it was too harsh, and he made another in response to that talking about pretty much what the ideology of what trans is doing, and now he's trying to he in the long run his goal is to also be a part to stop that, but he's trying to also protect his kids because that's the main thing is they're coming after your kids. Quote.
Yeah, so two things. One, Christina Buttons is the woman who said that she's leaving Daily Wire. And it had to do with Matt Walsh's stance on the whole trans thing, what he said basically, I guess, about this Dylan dude. And two, I can't believe I'm defending Matt Walsh, but it just fucking highlights the problem with fucking conservatives, right? Or the people on the fucking right. They are going to start accepting this whole trans thing, right? And they're going to just start adopting that philosophy, and they're going to become the old left, the current left, and the new left is going to become some other fucking amalgamous monster. And that's what's going to happen. And so they're slowly, and I said this from Michael Malice, I think said this, that conservatives, or it's conservatives or Republicans, I got to double check, but are basically progressives, but driving at the speed limit to their goal.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt Walsh, and I can't believe I'm fucking defending the guy. He's not wrong. He's trying to defend his kids. He's trying to defend future kids too. He's trying to let kids just be fucking kids without having to be forced to go to drag time story hour. Okay? No kid should be going to a drag show or a strip show, regardless of whether it's fucking heterosexual, homosexual, whatever. Okay? Mm-hmm. If a kid's having story time, it's just some normal person reading a book to kids, and that's it. And the book is not anything that is sexually explicit or pushing any sort of ideology, just like a basic book about, remember the old caterpillar storybook that we had growing up? The Hungry Caterpillar?
Yep, remember the Hungry Caterpillar.
What the fuck is wrong with reading that to a kid? Do that. You don't need to fucking do this whole bullshit with enforcing certain sexual ideologies or certain, quote, gender ideologies onto these kids. Just read the fucking Hungry Caterpillar. It's worked for decades. It'll continue to work.
Yep. And that's the problem. It's like you said, they're trying to enforce and, quote, push their, quote, gender ideology in sexual orientation and racial issues and making everyone to feel like there's a competition of who's the most victimized. Why are you trying to be the most victimized? Everyone's got a lot of fucking problems in their own lives. Your goal should try to be better. Try to fix your problems and not repeat what happened before, whether the problems are your fault or not, but you're supposed to get better, not keep this whole victim mentality going on so people will start feeling bad for you. What, we're in a competition to see who's the most victimized? Come on.
It's not even that. That's the surface level stuff. It's a lot more insidious, and it gets a lot, when you go deeper into it, the coffee is starting to kick in, so I'm actually waking up now.
Yo, let's keep going. Let's keep going, Mike.
We've got like 10 more minutes, technically speaking. So it's
that's 10 minutes. Let's go.
So it's a lot more insidious than that. It's not. So yes, these people are playing oppression Olympics, but it's
Oppression
being
Olympics.
manipulated. Yeah, oppression Olympics.
No,
I
it's
don't think
just funny.
I don't think I'm the first person to say it. I think Steven Crowder might have said it or someone
That
else.
was the
But
first time I heard, and that's so pretty funny.
oh, okay, yeah, oppression Olympics. So these people are playing oppression Olympics, and they don't even realize that they're being manipulated by powers that be. That's what we'll refer to them as, right? That are doing this so that they perpetually are weak. So if you get yourself in a constant victim mindset, you are not going to be strong enough, both mentally and physically, to deal with the adversities, real adversities of life. Oh no, he or she did not use the right pronouns. I'm so upset. I don't know. I'm going to make a 20-second video of me crying hysterically in the back of Starbucks because my underwater basket weaving degree, it doesn't get me $100,000 a year job. No shit, sunshine. You should have fucking chosen a better career path. Holy fuck.
Oh, dude, you got me at basket weaving. That was the highlight of it.
Thank you. But yeah, that's why this thing, if you go deeper beyond the oppression Olympics, it's being pushed because it's going to make them weak. And for it doesn't have to be a foreign nation. It can be someone within. Threats come from domestic and abroad.
Oh, you're
yeah, that's my soapbox. Go ahead.
Dude, I think we should look up if is basket weaving a real job? Is that a real thing? Is that
basket
a real
weaving? No,
degree?
basket weaving. No, I don't know about a degree.
I know it's not. I'm just.
But basket weaving is a real thing. That's how baskets were made. Basket weaving. That's
no,
where the term
no,
comes
I
from.
know, but I'm
Yeah.
saying like if you had to go to college.
No, that's something you can learn from your like a YouTube video or like your grandmother or something, depending on where you're from. She teaches you how to use to weave baskets out of thatch or whatever they used to make them out of. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah, underwater basket weaving, gender studies.
Dude, I'm sorry. If you're going, I'm gonna say it says thing. If you have, I'm gonna tell you right now, unless you're literally going to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, some type of science, not political science, actual fucking science.
But how
like a
else are our politicians going to
microbiologist.
know how to screw us without being political science majors?
Yeah, exactly. Like a microbiologist or something, or a physicist, right? Then yes,
Yeah.
you probably should. You definitely should, or even I don't know, psychology. But even seems like that is kind of has been warped. But you know more about that than I do.
The problem with psychology is the fact that they're no longer trying to push CBT, which not CBD but CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, right? They're trying to push just short-term medicinal fixes, like, chemical fixes, like, oh, you have anxiety? Here, take this pill that might actually increase your anxiety and make you want to commit suicide. Oh, then 3 months later, when your body develops an immunity to that, oh, we've got this new pill that's being tested on the market. Here you go. Your insurance company's going to build $5 billion, even though the pill probably only costs like 2 cents to make. And, they just keep they're new drug peddlers. Pharma is the drug cartel. That's hiding in plain sight. I can't even say hiding. They're just standing in plain sight, distributing drugs to everyone willy-nilly.
Yep.
And that's why it's sad to say that's the state of psychology, or a large growing trend in psychology, I should say.
No, it very much is. As like I was saying, you usually should not even go to college. If you're going to college and you have no idea what you want to do, don't go to college. It's a waste of fucking time. It seriously is. Take some time, get a normal fucking job at a restaurant, a grocery, or something. Develop some social skills, right? To get some experience. Like then I know what I want to do. I figured it out. It's something that's actually practical. A nurse even. It's practical for yourself in society. That's going to help progress society going forward. Then go to college.
See, I'm not going to argue for going for college. What I'll do is avoid the pitfalls. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to just get a liberal arts degree. No.
That's what I was saying. Don't go for that.
Don't go for that. And if you can, honestly, what I would do is just go for a job that has you around a trade, right? Starts off as like a cleaner in a, machine shop or something, or, entry-level machining position, right? Start learning the basics. Start with your whatever the salary is, starting with $16 an hour, maybe if you have no training, or maybe more, depending on how in demand and where you are, right? Do that. And then when you do that, right, and you like it, maybe after a few years, then start pursuing maybe an engineering degree. That's what they do over in Europe. Before you become an engineer, you have to have machining experience, at least 3 years applicable.
Yeah. Do something like that, or it's like I was saying before, because it seems a lot of, especially a lot of youth and a lot of kids are coddled very easily. That's what I was saying. Develop some social skills. You're gonna need these basic jobs, right, that are gonna give you the social skills to interact in society. Because I can't say 9 times out of 10. That's not the right factual number, but we can definitely say the youth is more coddled than it ever was.
Yeah, we mentioned that last last night. Damn, losing my throat, my voice. We mentioned that last night. We're getting to the 5-minute mark left. We mentioned that last night, where by creating such a lavish society, we have inadvertent, and also having previous generations experience what they went through, and it's admirable that people don't want their children to go through hardship. I understand that, and I'm not saying that all children need to suffer like you did through a Great Depression of some kind, even though we're going through it now. But by coddling them from everything, you are making them a larger target for actual evils that are out there that you will not be able to protect them from.
Yeah, they're turning into weak people essentially.
Yeah,
You should protect your child obviously from something practical they can't do, right? If they're being attacked and it's a larger adult, obviously protect your child, because 9 times out of 10 they won't be able to defend themselves from a physical standpoint.
And that's when you
Right?
start blasting.
Yeah. And if you capping, then if you hold it, then you be capping. That's it.
Don't. This is a life lesson. Do not in any way attempt to be arrogant when it comes to the university of fuck around and find out.
Mm-hmm. I told you that. I tell you that person's Twitter account tried to tell me, "Oh no, it's just your opinion. You know, society. It's just your opinion. Society is not getting physically violent." And I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Are
So
you kidding me?
I told you about that.
No, you told me about, but I didn't hear about that second part.
No, so I'm gonna get it right now because it was quote, or I didn't quote it exactly, so I'm kind of more just exaggerating. Not exaggerating, but I'm misspoking their words, because I posted something in response to the site, and I was telling you about it, and I was telling them, well, and examples would be just in the past few years. Past few years would have been the Summer of Love, the whole Kyle Rittenhouse issue, the George Floyd, right? All the riots from BLM Antifa, and you tell me that's not society and everything not getting physically violent. And I said that's just the past few. That was just the last few years. Then I even meant that as a whole, like January 6th. Then oh god, there's a that's another. I found the thing. I found the response.
Okay. What did the Reboard Warriors say?
I wrote in response to this person. Show more replies. So this person made a post. I wrote this person because it's just a cartoon or anime picture, so I don't know who the fuck this person is. So
gotcha.
They posted a picture. Oh, they retweeted from the Flash at Yellow Flash guy, saying Antifa threatened Sacramento bar for playing Hogwarts Legacy on TVs. Woke race activists unite. And then I think you actually commented on it too. I commented saying that it's going to take more than looking. Oh, I probably should look at my words when I tweet. But I said it's going to take more than just locking these criminals up, because he or she will be out of jail the next day. It takes physical pain for someone to realize when you fuck around, you're going to find out real quick. And then the same person who posted the retweet from the Yellow Flash said, "Not true. I disagree with you on that, but that's the beauty of it all. We're free to have our own opinions on that matter." I didn't say an opinion. You don't disagree with a fact.
Yeah, you fuck around, you're gonna find out.
Yeah.
You know,
I said to her in quote response, exact words what I wrote. You could see on the Nice Production Twitter. Take a look at what happened in the USA in the past few years now. BLM, Antifa riots, 2020 Summer Olympics, Colorado, etc. As an example, and tell me that is an example of laws in place and words aren't working. It's only a matter of time when people get tired of talking. And I didn't get no fucking response after that.
No, because you're not wrong in that regard. You know, talking is only going to go so far, and I don't want there to be violence. But when someone does not come to you at the table, when you're willing to offer civil discourse, then you inevitably make violent recourse the only option, and it's going to be possibly them making the first move, and it's going to just be this massive powder keg that's going to result in bodies in the streets. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know.
It technically already started with just a couple examples I already stated. It's been happening. Yeah, that's why I said the past few years. There's a lot more. I just named like what 4 things in the last 3. I even mentioned January 6th, right? And that's a whole fucking hoax.
I think you mentioned something that happened over the course of 1 year, just 1 year alone.
Yeah. I would just say yeah. That was just pretty much 1 year and a half the most probably, right? That was just over 1 year and a half, right? Going on. You can't tell me the violence is right there. It started and it's been happening a lot before 2020. It's been happening. No, obviously, we're talking isn't because there's only so much you can say to somebody that even if you're saying something factual and they're not willing to listen. Because we're gonna we say things that are actually factual, but at the end of the day, it's how you perceive the information we're saying, how you receive it. So you can tell us all day, well, you know, I disagree with you. I don't care if you disagree with me. I'm telling you a fucking fact. If I say it's in my opinion, then say I disagree with you. Sure, it's my opinion. I don't care if you do.
Well, before we go, because we're beyond time now. There's a difference. These people don't recognize objective truths behind, you know, subjective opinions. So the idea of objectivity does not exist for them, because if they can acknowledge objectivity exists, then their whole worldview, their very fragile worldview, is that stone going through a glass house thrown by them of all people, and it just comes shattering all around them. So, but with that being said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Daily Nights. I've been your host, Treasonous Truths. I was joined today by my amazing co-host, Daddy Sins.
Yo, it's Daddy Sins. Have a good night. And just like I always say, don't be a fucking sinner. I got nothing else to say.
Okay, I didn't know if you had. Yeah, I was waiting to see if you had something else.
Everyone's got opinions. Objective truths only. You don't like what we said? That's too bad. You go fuck yourself.
At me.
What else? Hashtag not my April. Hashtag.
Did you just start that now?
I said it before in a post. No one really said anything, but say hashtag not my April. Hashtag not my mermaid. What else? What's else? Hashtag not my Ninja Turtles, because that movie just looks awful already. It's nothing against the people in there, maybe minus Seth Rogan, but I mean, I've seen a couple of his past movies. They were like, you know, quote funny, but that said quote funny because that is subjective. For people who don't know, that is subjective. What common movies you or I think is quote funny. So
yeah, like we could talk about that tomorrow night. We'll talk about that tomorrow night, if anything.
Oh yeah,
go into his.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. Library. We're gonna hit on The Last of Us, second to last episode, episode 8. It was actually good. It was actually pretty decent. It was actually a really good episode. There's obviously some things I have to say, but minor things I have to say. But as you know, we always got to hit upon The Last of Us because next week is the last episode. So I hope they actually put fucking clickers in it more. That I got nothing else to say, Mike. You got it.
Okay. If you'd like to follow us, you can follow us at Neon Nights FM on Twitter, Neon Nights Production on Instagram, or you can also subscribe at our channel on YouTube, our YouTube channel at Neon Nights Productions as well, where we'll be updating Daily Nights episodes and going back to uploading more Eternal Champions episodes too. So, with that being said, until next time, folks, stay golden.